Okay, everybody, hello, it's Craig Cobb of TraderCobb.com. And this video, it's not a live, it's an educational piece to help you to be a better trader. Now, for those of you who haven't gone to my website, TraderCobb.com, and got the free course, and even those that have, to be honest, I want to show you what I look for 5 days a week within live trading for my own trades and those that are involved in live trading. I want to show you the sorts of what I call fundamentals of trading. And when I say trading, I mean something with an entry, a stop loss, and potential targets as well. It's not just about buy and hold. In my world, yes, I do that. I do buy and hold. And the one that I buy and hold is generally Bitcoin. That's my store of value. What I want to introduce you to today is the market dynamics. I have traded it for 16 years. Admittedly, the first 4 years pretty badly. But the last 12, it's kind of been my full-time gig. And I do know what I'm doing. I do know how to make money. And I suppose if I didn't, then my community would just abandon me. So this is an opportunity for you, and I want you to hit like, I want you to subscribe, I want you to turn on your notifications, and if you like this content, it would just mean the world to me if you could share it with one other person minimum, because I've been rubbish at getting a larger audience, and the reason I've been rubbish is I've spent a lot of time just working with the people that have put their faith in me. These are my clients, and my objective is to help them become the best trader they can be and make a lot of money. That's the objective that I have had, and it's meant that a lot of my time has gone into them. Not to say that it shouldn't, because it should. They're my clients. They're people that are paying me money to help them out. But in the same respect, I want to start to provide more content to those that are outside of our little community, so that you can make your own decisions as to where you go next. And if you are looking for a trading education, well, it'd be great if you did it with us. So what I want to do now is I want to go through, and I've got the top 10 here. First of all, I'm going to show you the watch lists that I scan 5 days a week, myself or my team. It's usually me, but I'm going to show you how I set things up, and I'll tell you why I set things up in this way. First of all, I got my top 10. Now, the top 10 is the list that I tend to have in front of me most of the data. I've only got 3 screens here because I've had to work from home due to COVID. I'm used to 4, but I've always got a screen open that has the top 10. Why? Because I believe you'll find that I haven't done the exact numbers for quite some time, but I think you'll find that 90% or more of the entire market cap of cryptocurrency is in that top 10. So naturally, I want to keep an eye on it. I want to see it as a barometer of strength or weakness in the market. Second to that, it's also where I can get the size positions that I like to take because there is enough liquidity. Now, what you're going to see in front of you right now are the FTX charts, because FTX is the exchange that I use. And if you would like to open an account with FTX, there's a 10% discount link in the link below. You can also see in the description, how to raise orders, go long, go short, all that sort of stuff. But that's not the point of this video. So I've got my top 10 here. And my read on what you're seeing right now is that the market is a little bit, it's in a transitional period. Of course, Bitcoin's above 50,000, and the trade that I'm after right now, this may have already set up by the time you see this, because this is purely for educational purposes rather than live trades. I'd love to see Bitcoin pull back to 50 and a bullish candle that I can take. That's exactly what I want. But the reasoning behind my thought process is this. Cyclicity. Higher low, higher high, push through this little consolidation period. The 50,000 mark is a round number. It's a number for which that it's a psychological level. We all know there was many people talking about 50,000 for quite some time. We've broken through. A pullback into there could help us as traders, as crypto traders, to do very well. But it is the chart that I'm looking for. And the way I approach a market is that, look, if there is not a trade available now, that's fine. I create watch lists based on trend because I'm a trend follower, and whether it be the Bitcoin breakout, the Fibonacci booster, or the crypto cradle, it's all about trend first. So I always have my top 10 built in TradingView as a list. Every day, the 5 days a week, I'll go through the entire FTX perp list, and you will note that there are some that are not included in here at this stage. It's not because I don't know that FTX offers those projects or products. It's because I need to have a certain amount of data for me to be able to do my analysis in a way that makes me comfortable. For example, where am I? Well, this will do. Notice how over here, if we only had 3 or 4 days of data, I'm not considering this to be tradable because I need the daily. The daily is a huge part of how I trade. I want trend, I want cyclicity, and I want multiple time frame analysis. And that is what all of these here checklists, because I trade via checklists. And yes, I still do. After all these years, there's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's nothing broken about these. I am not trying to recreate the wheel. And these, honestly, yes, I've modified them slightly to suit the way that I trade over the years that I've been trading, but I was taught these by other people. So I go through the FTX margin list, which is your futures list, your perpetual contracts. It's a bit of a mouthful. I also go through the full Binance offering of cross margin, which means long or short. And as much as Binance does not offer a platform that is all that easy to use, I will still, if I find a good trade, use that platform. I'll also scan the isolated margin list here. Now, isolated margin is a little bit more tricky. And again, I don't know why Binance makes it tricky, but they do. And that's why I do like trading on FTX, because they've got the entry and stop loss in the same order, plus a profit target to scale out if you wish to do that. So based on how I trade, I keep it simple. All right. Everything I do is about making sure things are easier, because the easier it is to get right, the harder it is to get wrong. And that's the way that I think, not just in trading, but in everything. So I scan this whole list as well. Then I go to my Binance pairs that are in the liquidity range that I'm willing to trade within. When you start to trade on larger numbers, you can't trade certain pairs because the liquidity is just not there. And you might cop some slippage. So what I've got here in this list is the top 100, 150, I think it is, of the Binance pairs. I've got Bitcoin dominance in here as well, because that is a chart that I do watch. Of course, as we came through the breakout here back in October, we saw Bitcoin then go through December as a very dominant force into January. And that was at the point where I went on a holiday and decided I was like, it was fortuitous. It wasn't because I decided that it was the best thing to do, I'll be honest. It was because I wanted to go on holiday, and I thought, if I'm going to hold my wealth, I want to hold it in Bitcoin. I did, and the Bitcoin dominance throughout that period did extraordinarily well. It was, I'll be honest, it was a fluke. It was based more around the way I wanted to have my holiday and less around anything else, to be fair. So I scanned through that full list, and this is the spot list against BTC, which I'll still trade more than happily. And the final list I scan is the US dollar tether list, once again on Binance. Now, Binance doesn't have the greatest order systems. That's why I trade with FTX. That's it. It gives me peace of mind and a bit of comfort that I can raise an order with a stop loss and I'll reduce only at the same time. It's very nice. All right, it works quite well for me, and it's more in tune with the markets that I've come from my background, which are, you know, legacy markets, foreign exchange, bonds, stocks, commodities, you name it. So for me, they're the lists that I scan. Now I'm going to come to the FTX margin list here. I'm going to show you what I look at and how I read the market. And this is where I think you should take some notes, but be aware. My top chart is my 4-hour chart. My bottom is my daily. Why? Well, the daily is 24 hours. It's a multiple of 6 from 4 to 24. Below my 4-hour chart, I've got a multiple of 2 deducted. So 4 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 30, then to 15. But I always have the daily and the 4-hour there. And the reason I have the daily and the 4 hours is because they're I call it my mid. The 4 hour is my mid, because it's in the middle between the lower time frames that I'll trade, and the higher time frames that I'll trade, which are called my swing time frames. The first thing I do on a scan is I go through and I look at trend. Now, I'll go past Bitcoin because I've already spoken of that. I look here at Ethereum, and you can see it's pulled back into the cradle zone, which is an area that I trade from. It's pushed on to new all-time highs. Okay, we've got a higher low and a higher high. Although it is divergent, don't worry about that. If you want to learn about that and the more detailed side of it, go to the free course. But you can see a higher low and a higher high. So therefore, Ethereum to me says, okay, on the daily, it's in an uptrend. On the 4-hour, which is my mid-term time frame, we're uptrending as well. This now gives me permission, because I've got multiple time frame agreement, to move lower. The 2-hour, yeah, looks all right. The 1-hour, higher low, higher high, pulling back. So for me, this Ethereum chart right now may offer opportunities down around this 1870 to 1880 level. It's all based on trend. Now let me go through a couple more. Perfect example, right? The daily, it's a little bit messy. Pull back, higher low, higher high, now a lower high. A lower low, sorry. Yes, there's a bullish candle in the cradle zone, and it has broken the high. Maybe there's some interest there, but I look at my mid time frame, my 4-hour, and I can't see a trend. What that means to me is out the door. Cardano pulled back in, rejected the cradle zone very strongly on that pullback day, consolidate, push through. Now, the 4-hour, I have a higher low and a higher high. That gives me permission to move down the time frames. I'm not interested in the 2-hour because it's a little bit lower high, low to higher high. Then I can go to the 1-hour. I look at this and go, oh, the trend's not that clear. If I look at the 30, well, the trend is clear. Higher lows, higher highs. The problem I've got now is based on my rules. That's a pretty big candle. So I'd leave that out. Algo Perp. The daily pulled back into the cradle zone. Bullish candle breaking the high. But again, no trend on the 4-hour. Alpha. Same thing. Not great at the daily. Not great at the 4-hour. So can you see how I'm trying to use multiple time frame analysis combined with some simple rules around trend, the cradle zone, and of course if you want to get the checklists, well, bloody well go and get them. It's not just about going, oh, I'm going to buy it and hope it goes higher. No, this is a calculated, checklist-based, systemized approach to trading where you manage your risk. You literally tick boxes. I mean, they're checklists. You know, you think about going to the supermarket when you're starving. What do you come back with? Everything, but nothing you actually need. You forget the toilet paper and your toothpaste, right? It's a systematic approach to the market. What that also does is it relinquishes any emotional attachment. It stops you from needing to think. On top of that, we manage our risk not just by risk amount on the trade, but if I have, let's say I've got 1% long BTC, 1% long Ethereum perp, 1% long Ampleforth perp. That's now 3% risk to the same direction, to the same outcome. And we know the market, fairly well moves together as one. Some will move more than the others. We know that. But what it allows me to understand and what I teach is that you've got to look at the risk associated with the positions you're taking, which is, what's the word I'm looking for? Collateralized risk, the words escaped me. But if you've got 3 markets and you've taken 1% risk on each, and if your rule is only 2% exposure to the one side of things, well, you wouldn't take the third, or you'd split those trades so that you could have, say, 75% on each, or whatever a bit more than that, whatever it is. All right. It's not just about buying and selling. It's about planning. It's about learning. It's about understanding your risk, understanding your exposure, and doing the right thing based on that. You see, trading is, everyone wants the strategies because they think that's a sexy part. I'll tell you right now, the strategies are probably 30% of it. It's your mental state, and we cover psychology, but it's also your risk profile. Correlated risk, that was the word I was looking for. When you understand the correlation in your risk and you plan for that, well, you can't have these very scary times where you might be long 6 different things, but they're all the same. They all move together, and you get absolutely stuffed by 6% loss. If you follow the rules and you stick to the not just the trading strategy rules, but the risk rules, you won't allow that to happen. Now, I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to go on any longer. I want to keep the message poignant, clean, and clear. If you want to learn more, jump on tradercobb.com. There is a free course there for you. You don't have to spend any money, and you can get yourself started. If you do decide to get the full trading strategies because you might work out, hang on, this guy does know what he's talking about, then go ahead and do that. Have a fantastic day, guys. Share this around with your mates. I'd really appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up, the like, the notifications, and the subscribe button, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Just a little snippet of something that I hope can help you. Thanks very much. Bye for now.
The Trader Cobb Crypto Show, talking business in blockchain.